So just finding a comfortable position. Most of our, actually all of our practices are going to be on our back here. So finding a place where you're comfortable. If you want to have a little something for behind your head, particularly for our Shavasana meditation, you can. Otherwise, just somewhere where it's comfortable to be on the floor. And so our legs can be bent here if that feels comfortable. In this constructive resting pose, our feet can be wide, letting our knees kind of lean in toward each other. So we can relax through the hip flexors, those psoas muscles, relaxing through the lower back. We can also just lie with our legs flat if that feels better. Arms can be out, out by our side if that's comfortable, or if it feels good to have them kind of resting on our body, we can do that as well. And so we're just going to start with a breath practice today. It's just a variation on deep diaphragmatic breathing. We'll call it swing set breath. And so the visual here as we're inhaling and exhaling is kind of like a swinging on a swing set. So the swing goes up and there's a slight pause before it swings back the other direction, slight pause before it swings back. And so we want to think about that pause, not making it too intentional, not worrying about how long it is, but just thinking about this continuous flowing movement of the breath with a gentle pause at the top and at the bottom. As we inhale, full, deep, diaphragmatic breath, belly rising, ribs expanding. And pause at the top and releasing all the way back down. Pause and then inhaling. And feeling the body just sink into the breath. Feeling the gentle rhythm, maybe visualizing the swing, either a literal swing or just the motion. Let's take 2 more complete breaths with a pause. And just allowing the breath to be natural here. And we're going to come into the basic exercise, which is the eye movement exercise that we've done several times. This one we're going to do it lying on our back, so supine, and we can take our hands and clasp them together and put them behind the head if that feels okay on the shoulders. If not, arms can just kind of be out like kind of like goalpost arms or whatever feels comfortable here, but maybe resting the head in the hands, and this will keep the head steady as well. And so we're going to start just by looking straight up towards the ceiling. And breathing in and breathing out evenly. And then we'll take the eyes without moving the head at all and turn them to look to the left. Just feeling the whole body relaxed. Even breaths here. Eyes over to the left, head staying steady in the center. Maybe noticing the relaxation response and the need to swallow or yawn or sigh. Relaxing through the shoulders and the hips, noticing if there's any tension anywhere, and as we breathe, just letting it go. And take 2 more breaths here. I'm going to bring the eyes back to the center, blinking them a few times without moving the head. And then we'll turn the eyes to look over to the right. Head staying steady, breath even and full. Take 2 more deep breaths. You can bring the eyes back to the center and just blinking them a few times and relaxing the arms down. Let's just hug the knees into our chest here a little bit, and we can gently rock side to side. And then we can bring the feet down to the floor, about hips width apart, as setting up for bridge pose and flowing bridge. So we'll bring our feet and our knees about hips width apart, our ankles stacked under our knees, and our arms down by our sides with our palms facing down. Taking a moment just to roll the shoulders back and down, and rooting down through the 4 corners of our feet. We're going to flow bridge, moving with our breaths. As we inhale, kind of peeling the spine up off of the floor, pressing into the floor, and lifting into bridge just as high as feels comfortable. And then as we exhale, just slowly lowering back down 1 vertebrae at a time. And as we move through bridge here, flowing with our breath, thinking about that swing set breath a little bit. Same kind of fluid movement with the body here as we lift, slight pause at the top, and then slowly lowering back down as we exhale, slight pause at the bottom. And just find that rhythm, that continuous flow. Not really a beginning or an ending to our bridge flow, but just continuous flowing movement. The lifting and the lowering, just kind of a continuation of each other. Just doing that gentle articulation of the spine without needing to lift into a big bridge or even getting to what might be the top of our bridge if we were just holding. So 1 more time, lifting and lowering. Then as we come back to neutral, let's hug 1 knee into the chest, and if it feels okay, we can let the other knee extend long. And then taking the opposite hand and just crossing it over, coming into a spinal twist here, crossing the leg over the body. We can turn the head, if it feels comfortable, to look the opposite direction. So the head looking the opposite direction of the leg that's crossed over. And then taking the eyes once again and turning them towards the ceiling. And taking a few breaths here. Take one more deep breath here. And exhaling. And we'll come back into the center here. And let's just switch sides, extending that leg out long, hugging the opposite knee into the chest. And then taking that knee, gently guiding it across the body. So crossing the body here. Turning the head to look the opposite direction. Arm can be wherever it feels comfortable, resting on the body or out by your side. And then the eyes turning towards the ceiling. Incorporating our bilateral eye movement with some of our cross-body movements for the right and left hemispheres of the brain. And noticing the breath. If we notice our mind start to wander at all, just bringing it back to the sensations, the movements, what our bodies are doing right now. Swallowing, maybe yawning. Feeling the body relax, not being in any hurry whatsoever. Take one more breath. And just gently bring that knee back into the center. I'm going to kind of shake both legs out if that feels good. And then doing a little bit more cross-body movement, a little more active here. We're just going to take opposite hand to opposite knee. So just kind of crossing it over and then extending it long. And if you have room, that arm can extend overhead. And then opposite knee to opposite arm, extending the arms overhead, legs long. And just flowing with the breath here. And that hand can come as far across the knee as you would like, and the knee can cross over a little bit, the center line of the body. Or it can stay a little more lateral, whatever feels good for you. Just kind of moving with the breath. Taking our time. You can incorporate that swing set breath too with the gentle pause at the top and the bottom. One more time on each side. And when you feel even, just coming to a pause, we can bring the arms back down by our sides, bending the knees once again into that constructive resting pose, and just pausing here, feet a little bit wide on the mat, letting the knees lean in toward each other. And then if you'd like to get any pillows or blankets or anything for our final relaxation and our meditation, you're welcome to do whatever you need to do to be more comfortable here. If you prefer to be seated for meditation, that's perfectly fine too. But feel free to, if you're not feeling too sleepy, to stay on your mat. And while you're in meditation, if you'd like to incorporate the hand gesture that we introduced a few weeks ago, it's the first finger and the thumb coming together like an OK symbol, or like an OK, OK sign, and then just tucking the three remaining fingers in like a little gentle fist. So basically just touching the first finger and the thumb together and letting the other fingers just gently rest against the palm of the hand. So feel free to just add that to wherever you are for your meditation if you'd like to. Again, hands can be resting on the body, out by your sides. If you're seated, they can be resting on your knees. And palms can be up or down for this as well. And so as you feel yourself settling in, becoming aware of your physical body in this space, just begin to notice your breath without making anything happen here with the breath. Just notice. Begin to become aware of any tension in your body, any tightness. And then breathing into those spaces and relaxing your whole body. your jaw, your eyes, hands, fingers, toes. And beginning to leave behind your thinking mind just for now, and coming into your physical body. Noticing the contact points where your body is resting on the surface that's supporting you. Becoming aware of any sounds around you. Noticing the feeling of the air on your skin. And beginning to notice the feeling of your breath in your own body. Feeling the breath as it comes into your body. And feeling the breath as it leaves. Recognizing that all of these sensations, all of these feelings in your physical body are happening in this moment, right now. Not in the past, not in the future, but right now. And recognizing that the only things that we know for sure are the experiences that we're having in this moment right now. Everything in the past is just a construct of the mind, a memory, a story that we've told ourselves based on our experiences. And anything in the future is just something we're hoping for or hoping against. Something that we're worried about or wishing for. And so even when we think we know, we don't know. And so our challenge is to find comfort and peace in not knowing. And so as you begin to practice, sensing your body here and now in this space, getting out of your thinking mind for a moment and into your physical body. And letting go of the past and the future, giving yourself permission in this time to not have to problem solve or to figure anything out. Right now, simply noticing the sounds around you, the air on your skin, the feeling of the physical sensations of your body in this space. And notice what it feels like to not have to do anything right now. Just to be here in this space. A sense of just being alive here, now. The body breathing. Nothing to fix or figure out. And maybe notice the tendency of the mind to be content here doing nothing. Or maybe there's a tendency of the mind to start to lean ahead to what's next in your day. Just notice. Notice that tendency of the mind without any judgment. The mind doesn't like uncertainty. It wants to solve problems. When the mind feels certain, it feels safe and prepared and secure. And so notice the pull of the mind to begin to solve a problem. And notice the satisfaction that comes with thinking about a problem. Notice how worry and concern feel productive. how thinking about a problem feels like you're more prepared, more in control. And then come back to your physical body and recognize that this physical body is here now. And notice that the thinking mind and the problem solving is just a simulation to make us feel more safe and more in control. It's just a construct of our mind that tells us that we're in control and tells us that we know. But really all we know is what's right here and right now. As we practice sitting with not knowing, we can begin to ask ourselves questions that we may or may not know the answers to. And just for today, practice answering these questions with, I don't know, without any judgment, simply a curious, I don't know. And then allow yourself to sit with the not knowing, and to notice what it feels like to not know. And to notice the tendency of the mind to want to know, to want to solve the problem, to find the answer. And instead, simply practice not knowing. So beginning to answer these questions with, I don't know. Who am I? What is my purpose in this life? Am I on the right path? Why did this happen to me? What is life trying to teach me? What should I do next? And notice how it feels to sit with not knowing the answers to those questions. So just be curious about the answers, but to not know. And noticing if there is a pull of the mind to try and answer the questions, to try and solve them, to think they knows the answer. And if you notice that tendency of the mind to answer the question or solve the problem, simply come back to the physical body. And notice how when you come back to the body, you can see that the thinking is just a simulation of the mind to make you feel more safe and more in control. And practice letting go of controlling the future and sitting with just saying, I don't know what will happen here. And what if you let go of that simulation of the mind? What does that feel like in your body? Does it feel like fear or anxiety? Where do you feel it physically in your body? And what does it feel like to practice sitting with this discomfort of not knowing? Do you feel it in your chest, your throat, the shoulders? And notice if the mind begins to pull you into the future to get you out of this discomfort. And if it does, just recognize that's the mind trying to protect you. But when you notice this tendency of the mind, and then you come back to the body, and you see how it feels sitting with not knowing, notice the sensations that are linked to uncertainty. And recognizing the trust and the patience that's required to sit with not knowing, to sit in this discomfort. And maybe even noticing the humility required to recognize that I can't be in control of the future. I can't be in control of everything. And that there's a peace in knowing that you don't have to. Recognize the discomfort of not knowing and know that it's okay to have that feeling. We don't know what will happen. We don't know why things happen. And we don't know the way that they're going to happen. And this is a frightening situation for our minds. And so when we practice not knowing, we recognize that we really never did know, and that we didn't need to know, and that we can trust in the goodness of life and the universe and our Creator, and we can know that they're looking out for us, and that there's a greater plan for our lives, even if we don't know it yet. When we have that thought, notice the feeling in your body when you sense that everything is going to be okay. Maybe it's a lightness or a sense of peace, maybe feelings of calm or ease. Our mind tries to create worry, but there's comfort in not knowing and not needing to know. Revisit for a moment any concerns or worries that you have. And then let that inner knowing come back and cover anxiety and worry and fear with this lightness, trusting that the universe is working with you and for you, trusting that you have already within you the peace and light to let go of whatever doesn't serve you. You have within you the peace that you seek. There's nothing outside of yourself that can give you that peace. Notice the lightness of presence and how it feels in your body. Notice maybe any shift in perspective or intuitive knowing or insight. Being open to whatever comes to you. And finding happiness in not knowing how life will unfold. Beauty is in the mystery of life. We can embrace not knowing because the essence of knowing is in the not knowing, in the willingness to not know, a willingness to be open to the goodness of life, a willingness to be open to all of the limitless possibilities that we can't even have planned for. Embracing not knowing opens us up to possibility. We can trust that all is well, and always has been well, and it will always be well. All is going to be just as it's meant to be. And slowly beginning to deepen your breath, gently moving fingers and toes. Being in no hurry when you are ready, coming to seated, and if you'd like to just jot anything down in your journal, you're welcome to, anything that may have come up for you here.